Before today's video, I want to share something about this Glock pistol because in the video there's a little bit of issues with reliability, and I wanted to clear up the reason why I have issues with reliability, because no matter how many times I try to pin comments and put it in the description, I get the same comment over and over and over again about something I'm doing wrong or something wrong with the gun or something like that. And that's not what's going on. So I'm going to show you what's going on with this particular Glock pistol and why sometimes I get reliability issues. For those of you that do not know, this is a conversion. This is a Glock 41 in 45 ACP. So basically what a conversion is you get a different barrel and you do some other things to it to make it run different calibers. Here's the stock 45 barrel because it's a 45 ACP, and here is your 10mm barrel. Same outside dimension, so it fits the pistol correctly, but the inside is a little bit different diameter there, 10mm. And the main reason, well, a couple of reasons here, but one of the main reasons here why sometimes the reliability isn't quite as good in a conversion is because the chamber is fully supported. What that basically means is you have a lot more metal around that particular cartridge when it goes off, so it's a lot better for shooting really warm, high-end ammunition. As where a stock barrel, especially in a Glock, it has a lot of free room in there, so a lot more reliable, but a little less strong. So that in and of itself can cause a little bit of reliability issue where you have to be really particular with the ammunition that you use. The second issue is I did put a 22-pound spring in it versus the stock 17-pound spring. And with some ammunition, this can cause a little bit of an issue because it's not regulated to the same slide speed and all that your stock spring would be. And the last issue is the extractor. It is a stock 45 ACP extractor. So when you take a little bit smaller rimmed cartridge like a 10mm, the way that it extracts that particular cartridge is going to be a little bit different than the 45 ACP round. So most of the people that know a lot about conversions or get into conversions, they understand that. They understand that they have to be particular about the ammo they use. And a lot of them understand that it's just basically a range toy or for doing what I do, testing ammunition. So anytime that I get some reliability issues with this particular setup, it's not going to be the ammo, it's not going to be me, it's not going to be an issue with my gun, some sort of defect. It's just the way this is set up. So I wanted to clear up that issue a little bit before the video starts, so enjoy the video. All right, here's another episode of 10mm versus 357 Magnum, and today what I have is the Hornady custom ammunition. I've actually had really good results with the custom line versus some of the other ammunition that Hornady puts out. Some of their ammunition, like the Critical Defense, American Gunner, it's got really unrealistic rated velocities, but Hornady custom always seems to do pretty well. It seems to be a little bit better quality ammunition. So for the 357 Magnum, it is a 158 grain XTP rated at 1250 feet per second. The 10mm is a 180 grain XTP rated at 1275 feet per second. So actually more rated energy with that 10mm. So we're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. And then as always, we're going to go through the Juggernaut box, which contains a 1 3/4 inch pack of bologna covered by 4 layers of denim, followed by 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard. Kind of simulates like a pectoral muscle and ribs or sternum, and into water jugs to catch these bullets. And how this normally compares to ballistics gel is out the back of jug 1 about 9 inches, back of jug 2 12 inches, back of jug 3 15 inches, and so forth. So let's get started with the test with the Hornady custom ammunition 10mm versus 357 Magnum. All right, first up, 10mm auto. We'll see how close we get to that 1275 feet per second. No read, feed jam, double feed here. That was locked up pretty tight there. $13.44. $13.22. Got another feed jam, which is interesting because the tips of these are pretty rounded. $13.73, another feed jam. $13.59, didn't even feed at all. 1346. So I don't know what's going on. It could just be my 22-pound spring that I replaced in this particular pistol. Not 100% sure, but most of the other ammunition has fed just fine. So let's see how the 357 Magnum compares. All right, 357 Magnum. We'll see how this compares. Not sure if that was a read from this one or the last round. 1321. No read. 1334. 1290. So pretty good rate of velocity compared to what we actually got. So let's hit the ballistic box and see how these two compare to each other. All right, first up, 10mm Hornady Custom. See what we get here. And like normal, baloney pack flew back at me. So completely shredded this thing, like you see with most like 357 Magnum rounds and stuff of that nature. So really good damage. All right, the fiberboard is in the first jug here, and the first jug is absolutely annihilated. Just huge amounts of fragments of this fiberboard, much larger than bullet diameter hole through the fiberboard. Massive hole through the first water jug, so that's really impressive. All right, first jug is just split open, really huge. That's typically what we also see with Magnum rounds, so we're pretty comparable to a Magnum round here. Jug 3, a little bit of a dent in jug 4. Dent out the back, that's going to indicate about 15 to 16 inches comparison to the ballistics gel. And the bullet is definitely in jug 3, so not over penetration at all. And what we got is pretty much perfect performance. Rolled the pedals back a little bit, but overall really good. Now let's see how that 357 compares. All right, 357 Magnum Hornady Custom. Let's see what this does. All right, through the baloney pack, good damage. It did not blow it apart the way the 10mm would. And I kind of didn't expect that it would, because it has a little bit more sectional density. That means it's going to push its energy probably a little bit deeper. Hole is very consistent, a little bit larger than bullet diameter. So let's see what we got in water jugs. All right, the first jug does look very similar to that 10mm. Quite a bit of damage there. And jug 2, very similar. Again, a lot of damage in jug 2. Impact on 3. Definitely impact on 4. This just ripped a big old hole off the back of 3 here. Impact on 4. There's a dent on 5. A dent out the back of 4, so that's going to indicate about 18 inches comparison to ballistics gel, and I can see the bullet in here. And again, we got pretty much perfect expansion. So how do these two compare to each other? First of all, that 10mm jam issue, that's probably my gun. It just, you know, sometimes some guns just don't like some ammunition. That's why you got to test them. You could have two of the same make and model configuration. Just sometimes it just doesn't like it. And for whatever reason, that particular Glock conversion didn't like that ammo. And I'm going to say it's ammo specific, because I've tested quite a few rounds through it now, and very few have had jamming issues. So for whatever reason, it's not the right ammunition for my particular Glock there. The 10mm was very consistent. And overall, I would say what we're seeing here is a little bit more penetration, because we have a little bit more sectional density with the 357 Magnum, a little bit less sectional density with that 10mm, but more power. So that's going to make kind of a little bit of a difference there in what you would use these two particular rounds for. Both of these would be a great hunting round. They'd both be fine personal defense rounds. But I'm going to say, judging from these results, if you had to shoot something that was really big and dangerous, I think the 357 here would do a little bit better job, just because it's a little bit more dense sectional density. It's going to penetrate a little bit further, dump its energy a little bit further in. So That's what you get today, 10 millimeter versus 357 Magnum with the Hornady custom ammunition. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.